And good as you know, I get many boxes in the mail, and one of these boxes charmed me by the size. I found the size great and the lid, so I took advantage of it to make this art today. So the first thing I did was cut here the tabs on the lid of my box. And notice that the Naila is here next to me wanting piece of bogeyman to chip see if can people I do not leave. I removed the flap on one side. I will remove the other side. Also I hit there to make sure the straight there by removing the tabs. The next thing I will do and leave the lid here well rolled so that it is curved. So I'm going to wrap it up like this on one side and then the other and in roll of 1 to 3 times for it to be well rounded. Look how cool it was. Now I'm going to need a help from a tray with the diameter of the width on the side of my box. I could use a compass to make this half moon or half ball, but I'm giving an option for you who have no compass at home. Look for a tray, a plate, something rounded that is more or less on the side of your box, as then the measurements here will be based on the box you will use. And another thing also cool, if you use a support, a plate or a tray or a lid, it will serve as a mold for you cut. So you can use it as support, as this will leave your piece much more rounded because you will support it as done the cut in the mold. I do not get to make the whole circle, as I just do a little more than half because I want to make the measure more or less in circle. I measure it more or less one of the side of the box and see as I want to leave this middle circle, okay, and use it as I use it as a mold to make the other side of the box to put on the lid rounded. This half ball here is good and already little there for Nyla that she will love to see you. And if you want to follow Nyla on social networks, he's on Instagram. I always post a Fortinia, a little video of her. So look, there is Nyla done that. Just put there, fit the lid on it, making the glue all parts of the tape. You leave it very close, even right close together. This tape is cool because you can paint on top of it, is so no problem is not taking it. I can take, but I will not withdraw to finish our art, okay? Once done, you will pass hot glue on the inside at the junction of this half ball with the lid. Then after you pass hot lap, you can remove the tape, that has no problem. But as I said mine, I will leave it did on the 2 sides of the cover to remove the excess of the cover. You can come to it, so instead put a ruler and with the stylus cut. But I will not cut here, so I can turn this part inside and leave cover a little bit cuter, okay? So I'll just pass hot glue there to join this part and leave it very close. And now I'm going to use EVA Strips, the width of it. You're going to cut into the width of your box from both the front and the side. Already the height of the tape of EVA you will use 6 centimeters was here. I used here is good, but you can also make proportional to the measure of your box. There the EVA, I used the thinner, so he has 2 to 3 millimeters, so I calculate on the top first after the bottom, and so I was putting the middle part the distance I gave from one tape to another was from a finger, if it is 1 millimeter more or less, because my finger is thin, right people? But as I told you, can make proportional, and the measure of your box is see the distance of 1 centimetro, and you make the measure of the tape you need. We pay attention at that time gives hot glue. I very dangerous, that so stay there, the tip does not leave hot glue on alone, much less on top of something that can catch fire easily, because it is very dangerous. I had to change Hot lab. But I did the side also then for that the same measure of tape and was looking one after another until the top part after. I glued the 3 parts and I made a cut, and to make this cut I did a scissors. Even as is a thin EVA, the scissors go super well and will still have the finish there on the edges. Is not so it will be super easy to do this part, so you do this way also on one side as well as the other. And I already enjoy others, and see the other decorations, so you can use other colors here. EVA, you will see here that in my box will also have other colors of EVA. Make these strips so no problem, because later we will paint and the leftover is just you cutting with scissors, as I explained earlier. And now I'm going to glue the strips on the rounded part here in the opening part of the box. I also put a tape by the width and thickness of this side and put OK, so you measure too. In your box, to stay in the measure of your box and well place the tape, I will also put on the side, and for that I cut another circle using that mold there and with the thickness. Also 3 centimeters to glue this rounded part. I found that with the circle already cut would be much easier, because I already had the mold of the circle. Okay, so I just put there in the whole circle, and I was cutting the part that was left, and the part one used on the other side was exactly what was left. So I did not have to cut 2 circles, is not good. So I glued on both side and the other side, and now I will use paints. To paint I will use a white PV base, and I will take advantage of my kit here that I have color for me to get a color option that I want. Okay, I want a gray tone more focused on black. Okay, and then you'll get the result you want. But if you already have a paint ready, has no problem. I made my mixture already in my little pot and then played so I could paint. That I could paint with a little roll. I went through all the parts of my treasure chest. Well, you realize here, after I painted the whole chest, you have to let it dry. For you to give one more hand if you need after the chest. All pitted drying is for you to give a second hand if you need, but I left drying because between the strips I passed black paint, not too strong, but just to use a brush, pass between the strips, and also the strip that was vertical you can use the brush passing on the side of the paint, you know, on the side, whereas the horizontal strips also giving a shading effect. Well, already the other day, already with everything dry, I'll do the part now of the lock. So for this I cut as if it was a lock and did the drawing on paper. And then I went to the EVA and gave the width of 3 centimeters to make the lock and put the mold up centered, almost centered on the EVA to make there my lock. And the part of the lock, the part of where the key goes, I made a drawing and cut with the scissors. Then take advantage and leave here for me in the comments of which region you are, so I know how far the video is coming combined. I also put a strip on the top of my chest, now has more chest face right. So before gluing I painted the strips to look very similar to the painting I had done previously. Okay, while they dried I used a metallic paste in copper color, okay, to make a dirt soiling so the part that we put the thinner strips, okay. So I just with the sponge wet this metallic paste and passed on the strips. He gave a super cool effect, super beautiful people. After I did this, I glued the top of the lid is not and also the part of the lock. I cut there the excess as this part. Also I will pass the folder, so I did not worry to get much in the tone. I had already painted, so just get there. The sponge and pass again on the part of the lock as on the top of the box. If you want, you can also paint the inside. I did not find necessary because you can put something inside there. But if you still want to give an even more beautiful effect, you can paint all the inside. That will still look more beautiful or people. Well, I hope you have enjoyed this art. I thought it was very beautiful. I liked the result, and everyone here at home liked it also until Naila saw. After it all ready, I realized that the treasure chest here does not fit my treasure because my treasure is my family, and my family does not fit in here, nor my little barber house here. But I thought the result was very cool. Hi guys, I hope you enjoyed this idea. I'll stay here a kiss for you, and until the next video. Bye bye bye.